Right now, as you watch this, there are hundreds of massive ships that technically don't exist. They are carrying millions of barrels of oil worth billions of dollars. They are crossing oceans, docking in ports, and fueling economies. But if you look at the official global tracking maps, the ocean is empty. This isn't a ghost story. It's a $10 billion logistical masterclass known as the Shadow Fleet. How does a 300,000-ton steel tanker disappear in broad daylight? How do they bypass international sanctions without firing a single shot? Today, we're looking at the mechanics of the dark fleet. Welcome to Level 2 of the Friction File. To understand how they vanish, you have to understand the digital heartbeat. Every legal merchant ship is required to carry an AIS, an automatic identification system. It's a radio that constantly screams the ship's name, position, and speed to every satellite and coast guard in range. But for the Shadow Fleet, that radio is a liability. The first step is simple. They pull the plug. They go dark. By turning off their AIS transponders, these ships drop off the digital grid used by insurance companies and regulators. On a screen in London or New York, a blip flickers, and then it's gone. But turning off your radio is only the beginning. How do you stop a satellite from literally seeing you from space? Turning off the radio leaves a hole in the map, and in the modern era, AI-driven satellites are programmed to look for those holes. So the Shadow Fleet uses a trick from the world of electronic warfare, GPS spoofing. They don't just go silent, they lie. They use sophisticated transmitters to broadcast fake coordinates. Imagine a tanker physically moving through a restricted zone at 2 a.m., but their digital twin is broadcasting a signal from a quiet bay 5,000 miles away. To a port monitor, the ship hasn't moved in weeks. This is the digital ghost. It creates just enough friction and doubt that by the time anyone checks the physical location, the ship is already gone. But even if you hide the ship, you can't easily hide the oil. The most dangerous part for these operators is the paper trail. To solve this, they use identity churn. These ships change their names and flags like stickers. A ship might be the Titan flying a Panamanian flag on Monday and the Lunar flying a Cook Islands flag by Friday. They are owned by a maze of shell companies, businesses that exist only as a folder in a desk in a tax haven. The final move is the ship-to-ship transfer. Two tankers meet in the middle of the ocean. The sanctioned oil is pumped into a clean ship. By the time that oil reaches a refinery, the paperwork says it's a standard blend from a neutral country. The origin is erased, the oil is laundered, and the Shadow Fleet disappears back into the fog. The Shadow Fleet isn't just a group of rebels. It's a vital hidden gear in the global machine. They operate in the friction between international law and economic demand. They break every rule in the book to keep the global supply chain moving. But oil isn't the only thing that moves in the dark. What happens when $50 million in high-tech cargo vanishes from a secure port without a single alarm going off? How do you steal a mountain of steel without anyone noticing? That is Level 3, the cargo heist. It's a masterclass in digital infiltration and physical deception. Level 3 drops in 72 hours. Subscribe to stay in the loop. Don't blink.